Tonight at 10, several people injured in this intense fire. Where authorities rushed to rescue people in Virginia, several people plus a firefighter hospitalized.
Equally.
Denied service, parents protesting Cracker Barrel employees who denied to seat students with special needs. We hear from parents pushing for a formal apology. Several employees were fired. There's a woman and a toddler stabbed near a busy mall. The arrest by authorities and how police caught a suspect hiding under a car.
And it will be a nasty night overnight into your Monday mornings. We have some fog and some leftover rain, snow, and mixed bag of precipitation. We'll talk about, show you the latest radar coming up.
Plus home and holiday savings, plans to save thousands in mortgage payments, and the savings to rack up during the holiday shopping rush.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Sunday evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 10 o'clock on the CW. I'm Ben Dennis. We begin tonight in Virginia. Officials say that several people were rescued from a large apartment fire. This happened in the Woodlawn area of Alexandria. Fairfax County officials say 5 people and a firefighter were hospitalized. They responded to Buckman Road this afternoon. You could see the after effect of those flames shooting up from the first floor all the way to the third. We're told 3 people were rescued after being in imminent danger. 6 more people safely let out. The cause is still under investigation. Everybody that was hurt is expected to be okay. And an update to last night's breaking news we brought you. Police say they have now arrested a man who allegedly stabbed a woman and a toddler in Arlington. Police were sent to Army-Navy Drive near the Pentagon City Mall around 9:45. They say they found a woman and a little girl who were hurt. The woman is in critical condition tonight, the toddler in stable condition. Now, authorities believe the woman was walking outside of a business holding her toddler when the suspect, Leonardo Reyes, approached, saying that he cut them, ran off. Police then spotted a suspect matching Reyes' description going into a parking garage. He was found hiding under a vehicle, and a police canine helped to locate him. Multiple charges, including aggravated malicious wounding and child abuse against Reyes. Well, the fallout continues after parents say employees at a Maryland Cracker Barrel refused to serve around a dozen special needs students in Charles County. That anger is continuing from parents. Many sharing that message today outside the restaurant in Waldorf. Our Dave Laval reports.
Cracker Barrel told DC News Now it hopes for another opportunity to serve the affected students and staff. Not likely, say the parents, who delivered a message of their own here Sunday afternoon outside the Waldorf location.
Inclusion matters.
Roughly 36 people protested outside the restaurant, among them Jonna Penrod, whose 7-year-old autistic daughter was part of the group denied service December 3rd.
Hurt more than anything.
Penrod's daughter is among the 11 special needs students from Charles County Public Schools, along with 7 staff members involved in the school trip to the restaurant.
As angry as I am, but these kids' voices need to be bigger than that anger. And if I decide to take my anger where I want to, I don't get anything done.
Cracker Barrel fired 3 employees, including the general manager, last week. Company executives met with parents and representatives from the school district last Monday to discuss what happened.
Equally.
Cracker Barrel has apologized for what it called not living up to its standards. Parents, including Dustin Reed, who organized Sunday's protest, are upset there's been no formal apology to them.
So until we apologize about it being discrimination, then it's not an apology. It's eye candy, it's gaslighting. Own up to what it is, and that's an apology.
Penrod wants something else from the restaurant chain.
I think that there needs to be training all across the board, from up high all the way down to, everyday employees.
Matter.
Parents have promised more protests if there's no formal apology from Cracker Barrel. In Waldorf, Maryland, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Meteorologist Scott Sumner will be tracking some snow for some of us today, rain for most, but we have some winter weather alerts as well.
Yes, we do, and we also do have a live camera here at the I-270 up towards, or just a little south of the Clarksburg area here. This is an area that's seen some rain and has seen some rain. So yes, we do have alerts in place, but not so much for this area. It is a little further west, and you see here, this is the I-270 corridor heading up towards Frederick. It's west of there that there are alerts. Right now, there's still winter weather advisories in effect for places like Clark County in Virginia and places north of there into the eastern panhandle of West Virginia, for a mixture of some sleet and some freezing rain in this general area. And then this will last till 1 o'clock in the morning. The pink is a winter storm warning that will go till 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's at some of the highest elevations above 2,500 feet here in the mountains, which could see a little additional snow, although not picking up a lot of it, but maybe a little snow and icy mix is what's being seen in some of the higher elevations. Rain right now in lower elevations in and around the district, as we have a temperature of 40 degrees. And of course, with 40 degrees around the Beltway, that's where you have just plain old rain with the road conditions. It's further out west here, like I said, all evening. A combination of ice and some snow creating some problems out there. I have more details about Monday's forecast coming up. Ben?
All right, Scott, we'll see you in just a bit. Meantime, we have an update to that deadly shooting in Fredericksburg we told you about last night. Officials say they've arrested a second suspect connected to the case. Police say Jabber Daniels is in custody after a traffic stop. They think he's involved in that shooting. It took place on William Street around 1 a.m. yesterday morning downtown. The victim here, Tyler Lee Jones, died at the hospital. Police are still looking for this man. They believe Elijah Musgrove is armed and dangerous. If you have information, you're asked to call police. All right, we learned earlier tonight that several D.C. homes, apartments, and a church were without water after a water main break in Northeast. Officials said the main broke where Gallaudet Street and Corcoran Street meet just after 3 o'clock. D.C. Water said about 20 homes, 4 apartment buildings, and a church all impacted. Crews originally estimated water should be back between 11 tonight and 1 in the morning. Well, it was certainly a big day for Metro in the DMV. Trains on the Red Line running again automatically. Automated trains running for the first time today since that deadly 2009 crash near the Fort Totten station. Since then, WMATA says they've made significant track and safety upgrades. Officials say the automatic trains will benefit riders in more ways than one. The rest of the lines are expected to be all automated by the end of next year. Staying in D.C., city leaders are reacting to the independent investigation that found Councilmember Trayon White violated the City Council's Code of Conduct. The new report that came out Wednesday saying there was substantial evidence that White accepted money in exchange for his influence on city contracts. Our Mariel Carbone has more on how the findings could impact White's role on the council.
God is good.
As Councilmember Trayon White continues to fight a federal bribery charge, an independent investigation determined White violated various council codes of conduct, using his position of power for personal financial gain.
I'm confident in the investigation and the report that was produced.
Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie is leading the ad hoc council committee investigating White. And while he wouldn't give his specific thoughts on the findings, he said the investigation was thorough.
We tried to not leave any stones unturned.
Investigators reviewed more than 20,000 documents and interviewed 22 people, finding substantial evidence White accepted $35,000 in cash from an FBI informant and accepted the cash payments in exchange for agreeing to meet with and influence various government officials. It did not conclude White broke residency requirements, despite his name being on a lease for a luxury apartment in Ward 6.
What I can say is that the process works.
Mayor Muriel Bowser saying Thursday she hasn't fully read the report, but applauded the investigative process, which she helped create.
I wrote the legislation that created the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability.
Based on this report, council could vote to expel or censure White, action McDuffie wouldn't commit to just yet.
I don't think it's appropriate for me to have that conversation right now.
And White and his attorneys declined to speak with investigators for that report. The findings are slated to be discussed tomorrow morning at 9:30 during an ad hoc committee meeting. It will be open to the public. In the Commonwealth, reported sightings of strange drones continue to come in. Right now, Governor Youngkin released a statement He says, quote, "I remain deeply concerned that Virginia has consistently sought information from federal partners, and to date the information shared with the Commonwealth has been insufficient." He added, "We will continue to engage with our partners and release further information as it becomes available." Well, Virginia is not a sanctuary state, and sanctuary cities will not be allowed. That's also a message from Governor Youngkin. He's threatened localities will lose state funding if they don't cooperate with immigration enforcement, or ICE. All of this before Donald Trump takes office after vowing to crack down on illegal immigration. Youngkin will make this budget proposal to state lawmakers, but our Tosin Fikile sat down with a professor at George Mason University and former Virginia House of Delegates member to break down that move.
Cato Institute research shows consistently that crime by aliens is actually at a lower rate than crime by natives. But this is, look, 2025 is election season in Virginia. Virginia is for lovers of elections. And congratulations to Governor Youngkin. He launched the 2025 campaign with this press conference, making illegal immigration the hot topic. It was a hot topic during the 2024 presidential elections. In addition to Governor Youngkin's continuous attempt to raise a flag in the Donald Trump and MAGA world and get their attention, which he has consistently, this is purely about elections in 2025. The gubernatorial race will be happening in 2025, and the entire Virginia House is up for re-election in 2025 in Virginia. The governor does not have the power to hold funds. The power of the purse is in the hands of the General Assembly, and the General Assembly currently is in Democratic hands.
So how does it stand a chance against, like you said, a Democratic state house in Virginia?
The state house is 51-49, the Senate is 21-19. Therefore, this is not likely to stand a chance in an amendment of the budget or in any bills for the upcoming legislative season.